Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Diplomat's Desk. I am your host Meet Shah. So today we are digging into a topic of increasing importance: China's struggle for influence in Central Asia. What it means, how it's playing out, and why you should care. Central Asia, comprising Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, occupies a crucial position in the heart of Eurasia. For China, this region is essential for several reasons. Geographically, it offers a land based transit route to Europe and the Middle East, bypassing maritime choke points and reducing dependence on Russia. For example, the Middle Corridor and rail links are gaining traction. Economically, Central Asia is resource rich, energy, minerals, and trade potential. Beijing has invested heavily through its flagship infrastructure initiatives. Strategically, China is seeking to reshape the regional order, offering a model of connectivity, development, and diplomacy that suits its interests, while also managing its influence of rivals such as Russia and United States. In short, Central Asia is both testing ground and a proving ground for China's foreign policy innovations. Let's look at some latest concrete developments to illustrate how China is operating in Central Asia today. In June 2025, China hosted the second 2025 China Central Asia Summit in Astana, Kazakhstan, with the five Central Asian states. The parties signed a treaty on eternal good neighborliness, friendship, and cooperation. Chinese companies are rapidly increasing their presence. For example, in 2025, data from Uzbekistan showed that more than 1,000 new Chinese companies launched compared to the previous years, and Chinese firms overtook Russians, one in number. The investment focus is broadening. Beyond roads and rail, China is looking at renewable energy, nuclear power, electric vehicles in Central Asia. Example, the Chinese State Nuclear Corporation was awarded contracts in Kazakhstan and is in talks in Uzbekistan. China's trade dominance is growing. The shares of Chinese trade in the region is rising. One article notes that in 2024, China accounted for about 40% of Central Asia's aggregate foreign trade. But it's not at all smooth sailing. China ambitions face several struggles in the region. While China's economic footprint is large, translating that into genuine political trust and cultural influence is harder. As one assessment notes, China's growing role has not translated into trust, admiration, or influence. The Central Asian states do not want to become satellites. They are keen on balancing China, Russia, the West, pursuing what's called multi-vector diplomacy. For example, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan are heavily indebted to China, 25% plus of GDP. Information that flags dependency risks. Russia still retains hard security influence in Central Asia. China, while expanding economically, is cautious about stepping on Russia. From one article, China appears to respect Russia's lead in hard security, yet its diversified economic expansion is clearly encroaching on areas of Russian interests. Several Central Asian governments worry about Chinese overdependence, for example, infrastructure tied to Chinese loans or Chinese influences in strategic sectors such as nuclear energy. These raise questions about long term autonomy. So, China's struggle is less about building influence, it's about how to build it in a way that's accepted, balanced, and sustainable. Why should you in India care about this? Here are a few implications. The Central Asia region is part of broader Eurasian connectivity map. China's growing role there influences corridor routes that might affect India's own outreach, for example through Iran or via the Middle Corridor. As China strengthens its position, India might see both opportunities: partnership in infrastructure or energy, and challenges: reduced space for its own influence. More broadly, the global balance of power shifts. The trajectory of influence in Central Asia is bellwether for Eurasian geopolitics, meaning this is not just about China Central Asia, but about China versus Russia versus US global West in coming decades. Let's summarize the essentials. Central Asia is strategically indispensable for China. It offers connectivity, resources, and a place to test foreign policy models. China's engagement is intensive and expanding: new companies, new sector, new treaties, new rail links. But there is a struggle, not just a triumph: generating genuine influence, managing local sovereignty concerns, handling Russia's residual role, avoiding overdependence. The outcome will shape not just China's regional footing but global Eurasian geopolitics, and it will affect partner countries like India. Thanks for joining the overview of China's evolving role in Central Asia. If you find this video insightful, hit like, subscribe, and click the bell for the future content. Also, feel free to drop the questions or discussion points in the comments. It will shape our next deep dive. Until then, stay curious, stay engaged. See you next time, guys. Thank you for watching this.